Hello, gorgeous soul, and welcome to this epic podcast. This is a place where you are encouraged and you have absolute freaking permission to unapologetically go after all of your dreams, all of your visions, all of your things on your vision board, like everything that your heart desires. I'm your host, Angharad, the High Vibe Babe, and I believe that we're all in this life to expand and experience our wildest dreams. If one of us can have it, then we all can. So that is the aim of this podcast. Each week I'll either be going solo or have guests with the aim to inspire, uplift you and give you the tools for you to live your most epic AF life and business possible. You can find me on Instagram with the handle @HighVibeBabe. Now let's get into today's episode. Hi ladies! Angharad here. Okay, are you ready for day 4 of a Soul Biz crash course? Soul Biz startup crash course. Holy guacamole. We're talking all about launching strategies and tips today, and woo, I'm fired up. Okay, so what I would love for you to do is tell me what your favorite, or like what your biggest aha moment has been in this day of the 3 days so far, or like what your favorite part has been of the Soul Biz startup course. I would love to know. But then the podcast, you can actually win to go into the Human of Wealth for free. So I'm giving that away tomorrow on my stories on Instagram. So to be able to go in the draw to win that, you just listen to the podcast, and I will leave the link for the podcast episode in the description so you can click on that, the episode that explains how to enter the draw. Okay, so Sam, this energy and vibration I have got from this, it has made me so energized for my business and to continue going on my soul journey. Your energy is so contagious and I love it. Thank you so much, Sam. So far in the 3 days, we have been over how to know if you are being called to start a soul business. We have been over whether you need to niche, how to magnetize clients, and how to decide your target audience for your business. And then yesterday we did all about aligning your mindset with your vision. So the first thing that I think is really important when you're launching a business, so this can be for launching a business, it can be for launching a program or an event or a podcast or something. It can be for launching anything. Oh my gosh, I'm editing my book, by the way. This reminds me of something that I've just been editing in my book. So I'm going through and doing my first edit today of my book. I'm like halfway through and I'm like crying with happiness and sadness because I'm at the beginning part of the book and it's really sad. Well, it's hard. The stuff that I explain in the beginning is a lot of hardness. It's a lot of things that are painful and were painful in my past and that I know people are still going through. So I write about them. And it's been a really healing journey to read it all together so far because I hadn't actually read it all. I've been gone halfway. And one of the things I talk about is around these thoughts and how detrimental they were in my thought audit and all these things. So it just reminded me, but it's beautiful. And I haven't got a release date yet, but it will be coming. It's definitely this year. It's coming. I'm working on the date. You'll know. I'll let you know. Okay. When I know, I will let you know. But so all of these things are for anything you're going to launch at all. And the first thing I like to do is like create a schedule. So once you've got all your content arranged and you've got everything ready, then I like to launch things over 4 days. You can actually do it longer or shorter, but this is just my personal preference. What I've found works really well for me. So on day 1, you just hint that something's coming. Nothing else. Nothing, you just say something's coming. And the second day you can drop a little hint. You could say like it's about mindset, or it's like, you know, some sort of hint, or you can ask people if they want a hint either. Oh my gosh, as well, that's really cool. So it's day 2 is dropping a hint. Day 3 is just releasing like the graphics you've done. Also, if you don't know, if you're not very good at graphics design, you're like, I don't know how to use Photoshop, then there's a thing online called Canva. www.canva.com. There's amazing free templates on there. You can also sign up and do like it's a small subscription, but you get access to more things. But that was like a game changer for me before I learned how to use Photoshop. So there's a top tip for your girlfriend. And the day 3 is graphics, and then day 4 is like you release some details. So I'll go into I'll go into a few more details about how to release details a little bit later on, but those are like the 4 days that I like to follow. So hint something's coming, second day is a hint, say something's coming, second day is a hint, third day is release your graphics, and the fourth day is release some details. So that's just like the pre-launch stuff, right? And the reason why it's really important to do these things, firstly, I know it's hard to do it because for me, like once I've decided something and got everything ready, I like want it out like right now. Like it's so hard to wait. That's the most difficult part for me. I swear it's really, really hard for me. But the reason why it's really important is, I'm not sure if you're like this, but my Facebook is like this. Often I will see some random person's post from a week ago. You know those colored backgrounds on Facebook just saying like something's coming, you know, like with a colored background, just some text. Often I'll see that like from a week before from someone, but I wouldn't have seen any of their posts after that. And I'm like, oh, what did they just launch? And then I have to go and search them and find out what they've launched. So these things fly around and circulate for quite a long time. So it's really important to get like a lot of content out there. So those are the things I often see before I even see the person's graphics or whatever they've released. So that is really helpful to do if you're trying to create a whole lot of attention, because you want to build up suspense and interest. Like that's really what a launch is all about. So, you know, no one really likes suspense, but they also really do. You know, it's like a love-hate. The next thing is giveaways. Who doesn't love a good giveaway? Giveaways are freaking amazing. I love giving and I also love to receive. I love to enter giveaways. So it's just like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win on every possible level, right? So some of the things that I have personally given away and I've seen other people give away is on my very first ever launch in January this year, to launch my podcast, I actually gave away a brand new KitchenAid mixer. It was amazing. I purchased it with myself and I got a red one because I love red, and I had so many people enter it. It was like amazing. It was absolutely incredible. And then you set the rules to whatever you want to. So you don't have to copy what someone else has done. They could just screenshot it, or they could just tell you they've watched it if it was a podcast, for instance. Or you could have like 15 different steps they have to follow, whatever feels right to you. But like, you know, I was also starting a food blog, so something that's like relevant to you or to your industry would also be quite helpful. But you know, I just love KitchenAid mixers, so I'd enter that even if I was looking at a coaching business, to be honest, and they were giving away a KitchenAid mix. Totally my jam. Other things is you can give away free sessions, or you could give away some merch or vouchers, or you could give away like upgrades to something, a longer massage or a second 2-for-1 healing, or upgrade to a VIP or something like that. And the other thing, which I'm pretty sure you've seen people doing, is collabs. You could collab with similar people, or with even not even similar. I mean, I'm sure you've seen those things on Instagram where it's like you like this person's page and like this person's page. Everyone puts in, you know, you could go in with like a Reiki healer and a coach and a hotel and a graphics design company, and you could all like put in something to this giveaway and then share it on your socials, and you get a whole lot of impact through like group collaboration. So those are some really, really cool giveaways. And obviously, like it just creates attention, and like-minded people will then want to see your content, and because you'll get them to follow you or whatever your aim is for the giveaway. It's an amazing way to promote what it is that you're launching. The next thing I love to do is to do some sort of promotion with some free content. So this 4-day live series, for instance, is a really good example. Now, the thing I suggest with giving away some free content is you can, but you don't necessarily have to, or the best idea is to give away the content that's going to be in the course. So the best thing to actually do is actually dance around the topic, but not actually give away the actual content in the course. Because, so like for instance, this live series is perfect. I'm doing a live series about launching your soul business, but the course is actually around the finances and around matching up the visionary and the human who's like worried about bills and stuff for the human of wealth. So it goes hand in hand, but it's not actually any of the stuff I'm going to be covering in this course. Do I have another course that's similar to this? Yes. In the past, I have launched a course called Craft Your Dream Business, and that was some of this stuff actually came from those modules. By the way, if you would be interested in a course like that from me, please let me know, because I've been thinking about whether I should rerun that, but I don't know. So if that's something you might be interested in, let me know. So creating some free content. So you can do like a live series, you can do a webinar. Webinars actually really good because they actually have a higher retention rate than like a Facebook Live. I think a Facebook Live to be honest, on a normal profile page is only like 5% or something. I think within groups it's quite a bit higher, but a webinar is like 95%. So it's a little bit of extra work considering where you have to host it, and some things may cost you money for different, like Zoom, if you have a certain amount of people and stuff like that, it's going to cost you to host those sort of things, and then you've got to upload it onto YouTube and edit it a little bit, but it's a little more effort, but they typically would get a much higher retention rate on a webinar. So depending on what you're trying to go for, that's another way of launching and giving away some free promotional content. The next thing I wanted to go into was the different ways you can actually promote it. This is just for social, well, actually, let's add another one. So you can do emails, obviously, if you have an email subscription. If you don't, so one of the email, what's it called? Email company, yeah, that I use for my email subscribers is called MailChimp, and it's free up to, I think it's 5,000 subscribers, don't quote me on that, but it's quite a lot. So that's the one I use, and there's heaps of YouTube videos as to learn how to do it, but you can obviously send out a series of emails or one email every time you have a podcast out, or like there's lots of things you can use on that, which is just amazing. So that's one way. And then I major on social media, to be honest. So I mean, obviously you can use a podcast if you've got a podcast, but my things I wanted to go into quite a bit was social media, because it's the thing that people mostly use because we're all on it all the time, but secondly, it's typically free. So I don't pay for any ads or boost anything, like it's not, I do totally organic, by the way. So you don't have to. I know lots of people have built million-dollar businesses without paying for any ads. So you don't have to these days, which is amazing. You can use your Facebook or Instagram stories. You can do lives. You can do written posts. You can do like a picture or a post with like a written post with a picture. You can do like a graphics you've done on Canva or Photoshop with like a logo and a couple of details. Or you can do, as I mentioned before, those Facebook, those colored in background things on Facebook with just a couple of details. You can use those as well. Also, you can use a website, so you can post your website links. There's heaps of ways that I pretty much use all of those actually as promotions. I do use all of those as promotions for putting my content out there for my promotions and for my courses or programs or podcast or whatever it is that I'm launching. And the big things, I think, so that's all like the technical, strategic side, but like the big side around launching, I believe, is actually you need to have fun doing it. Is it scary when you first start doing it? Yes, of course it is. We've been through a few of these things in the first few of this series, but it always feels scary when you jump out and do something. You never feel confident. It's a practice thing. It's something you repeat and then you feel better about it. So, but like listening to your intuition as well, and it's trial and error and seeing what feels really good to you. And you do a combination of things, and it's testing and trying, and sometimes you'll feel like it didn't feel right, and it might be the program or it could be the way you launched it. So it really is a matter of practice. And it's horrible, there's no quick fixes and whatever, there's no magic pill to lose 100 kgs, but really people are magnetized to us from who we are. So you don't really have to be a rocket scientist. People just love you for who you are, and people are naturally drawn to you by you leading yourself. So yes, sales is a big thing in the sales world, but I have no sales background at all. Never had sold a single thing until I started doing online work, and people love me because I just lead myself. So do what feels good and trial and error. That actually wraps up this live training series. I wonder if you have any questions around launching or any of the other, oh my gosh, lives that I did around anything else, magnetizing clients. Did anything come up? Or how was your visualization? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for the Human of Wealth, it actually begins tomorrow. So today and tomorrow morning is your last chance to join us. Oh my gosh. And there's quite a few ladies who are already in, and a lot more of you who have said you're interested in it. So you have like under 24 hours left to get in. The investment for this course is $111 US. The other thing I actually could talk about is, I didn't talk about launch lengths. So this is a trial and error thing, but typically I do around 2 weeks for a launch. So I have done shorter, I've done a week, and I have done longer, but it just, for me, that works really well. Oh my gosh, the other thing with launching, how did I not think of this? What? Okay, the other thing with launching is actually working with your cycle. Have you ever heard about this or thought about this? So people say it's really good to launch when you're ovulating. However, I actually have the most consistent energy in what's that technically, the second part of my cycle. So after my period, I get the most intense and the most really focused energy in that time. So if I do a 2-week launch that starts the week after my period finishes, so the first week is the second week in my cycle, and the second week of the launch is my ovulation time, and then by the time the course starts straight after that is in my pre-menstrual stage, which is like bursts of energy, which is amazing. So it works out really, really well for me. So working with your cycle is like incredible. If you haven't ever thought about doing that, I think that's all I really had to say. I'm just very, very excited for the Human of Wealth. I'm very proud of it, and my strategic sellers can have a field day teaching all of these things to everyone. See you later, ladies. Bye. If you have enjoyed this episode, I would adore if you would screenshot it, chuck it up on your stories with your favorite takeaway moment, and tag me at High Vibe Babe on Instagram so that more people can see this and get this content and get this message out there to really shape and change and impact other people's lives. Do you desire to be around more high vibe women who really get you, who encourage you, who like support you no matter what? Yeah, well, guess what? I have a place that you belong. It is called High Vibe Babes Community. It is a free Facebook group, and I would love to have you in there. There are so many free trainings and epicness in this group, so please get your booty in there. It would mean the world if you would subscribe to this podcast, do the reviews, the rating, the stars, all of the things. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to chat with you on the next episode. I'm sending you all of the vibes and all of the love. Over and out from Angharad, the High Vibe Babe.